Everyone, welcome back and happy Wednesday. All right, guys. Well, we have some Bethenny Frankel blaming the heck out of Andy Cohen for a really bad marriage to Jason Hoppy. We have a lot to go over, and NeNe Leakes' son. I know you guys have heard about this arrest by now, but more details have come out, so we're going to get into all of it. Now, before we do, you guys know how this works. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys. So Page Six, thank you, Page Six, came out with this, and I thought it was interesting. Bethenny Frankel says it was Andy Cohen who told her to marry her ex-husband, Jason Hoppy, which she called the worst idea in history. Speaking on the latest episode of her Just Be podcast, she briefly touched on her disastrous ill-fated union with a pharmaceutical sales executive that was followed by a bitter 8-year divorce. Andy told me to marry Jason, so there we go. That's what she told Jill Zarin, saying it was the fucking worst idea in history. Now, Bethenny, just to remind everyone, and Jason tied the knot in March of 2010, but she filed for divorce about 2 years later. After years of court hearings, mostly relating to the custody of their 13-year-old daughter, Bryn, Bethenny and Jason finally, got through the divorce. In 2021, literally, it took forever. The ex-couple tied the knot in a lavish, highly publicized wedding after Bethenny found out she was pregnant with Bryn, but things went south for the pair soon as their nuptials they announced the separation in December of 2012. I don't know if you guys remember this, though. He was came off extremely jealous. Like, she had just so much drive. She wanted to pursue businesses. She was a bullet train that was not going to be stopped. And when they first got together, she didn't have anything. But as they were together and she was working on the Skinny Girl brand, this was around the time, I believe it was with Jim Beam, that she was inking the deal with, the $100 million deal to take over the cocktail portion of Skinny Girl. Yeah, that's why a huge reason that this divorce got dragged out for so long, because he felt entitled to a big chunk of that money that she did not have before they got together, which makes sense. But it didn't to her. Okay. What followed was a years-long custody battle over Bryn, with the exes reaching a final settlement in 2018 and a financial settlement. Bethenny eventually got full legal custody as well as primary residential custody, and their divorce was finalized in January of 2021. Bethenny opened up about the car crash of a marriage in 2021, calling it a nightmare divorce. She said, "I ended up marrying someone who was just a regular person who seemed like they could handle all of what was going on with me and being in reality television. And I was sort of proud of myself for just marrying someone who had a simple life, and they didn't come from much, and so they would never want anything from me." Bethenny said she had initially didn't want a prenup prior to marrying Jason because she thought the idea of having one was embarrassing and awkward. "I'm trusting and I just don't want to deal with this." And it was embarrassing. The word prenup was embarrassing to me. It's uncomfortable. It's awkward. A contract when you get married, it's uncomfortable. It's an awkward concept. Bethenny Frankel. It's not. It's not an uncomfortable, awkward concept at all. People get married and divorced every single day. Now, had you have had a prenup that said going into the marriage, any businesses that you are starting on your own or whatever, like, doesn't matter what the prenup would have said, had it have been structured the right way, this 8-year divorce could have probably been settled a long time ago. Yes, divorces still get dragged out when you have a prenup because sometimes you have both parties fighting certain things. And, the prenup, you're not a psychic. You're not always going to be able to predict what's going to happen or what assets you'll have by the time you decide to get a divorce, but it at least gives you an outline, even if it's awkward or not. You know what else is awkward? Fighting for 8 years while you're raising your kid together, having your ex show up to the kid's school, having your ex ream you through media, having your ex try to drag you to court every 2 seconds. I'm just saying, I would have had the awkward conversation, got the awkward ass contract, and got the prenup. But that's just me. Anyways, I bet you if she gets married again, which I don't think she will, but if she does, even though she's engaged, and I don't think she will, I don't see her not getting a prenup. But let's move on, because we have some drama going on in Atlanta. And this time it's not with Kim Zolciak. This time it's with NeNe. Well, at least her sons. Reality Blurb came out with this. Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Nene Leake's son, Bryson, is arrested for fentanyl possession. Reportedly told cops he was his brother Brent, and they said see how Brent responded. Nene Leakes' son, Bryson Bryant, was arrested earlier this month for fentanyl possession, and during the July 3rd arrest, the 33-year-old allegedly said he was his younger brother, Brent Leakes, and gave an incorrect address. Not good. Less than a year after the Real Housewives of Atlanta's alum's youngest son, who she shared with her late husband, Greg Leakes, suffered a stroke and heart failure, her oldest child was reportedly caught with drugs. According to court documents obtained by Radar Online, on July 18th, Bryson has been charged with felony possession of fentanyl, a Schedule II controlled substance, and a misdemeanor charge of loitering and prowling. In a criminal arrest warrant, prosecutors revealed the incident occurred at 1 a.m. at a residence in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and while Bryson was inside of the home, he was said to be evading police and claiming he knew the people that lived at the residence, which was false. Then when Bryson was asked for his name, he told officers he was his younger brother, Brent, which is why initially filed documents, including the booking sheet, featured Brent's name rather than Bryson's. Bryson was ultimately booked at the Gwinnett County Jail at around 2:36 a.m. and released around 12:20 with the bond set at $5,900. However, because Bryson also gave police a phony address citing a home that the alum sold years ago, additional documents have been filed against him in which a charge of giving a false name, address, or birth date to a law enforcement officer. Currently, Bryson, who was rearrested for the crimes and also has been accused of violating his probation in a separate case, is incarcerated and scheduled to appear in court this month. Although Nene has yet to address her son's incarceration, Brent shared a post on his Instagram story that seemed to reference Bryce's use of his name. Now, why am I in it? Now, see how I get thrown and stuff? I ain't even did nothing. That's what he posted. Word for word. As Real Housewives of Atlanta fans may recall, Brent was rushed to the hospital in October of last year and remained there for months after suffering a stroke. Brent had congestive heart failure and a stroke, and that's what Nene told fans of the very scary incident, saying he's really young for something like that to happen to him. I don't even want to go into details of what happened or how I found out or what condition he was in. But while doctors usually think symptoms are caused by drugs or an infection, Nene denied that Brent used drugs and claimed that his test came back negative for an infection. I mean, if I were the younger brother, I would be pissed if my brother got arrested for possession and used my name. What? All right, guys, please chime into the conversation. What are your thoughts about Andy Cohen telling Bethenny you should marry Jason Hobby? No. When she said worst idea, she wasn't joking. Like, honestly, that idea, Bethenny, you're the one who did it. And what are your thoughts about the whole NeNe Leakes thing, guys? I know you have all of the opinions and more. Just to give you a heads up, though, as far as what's going on for the rest of the week, tonight we have the Real Housewives of Orange County. So tomorrow we will be back for a recap. But after that, we will have our members-only morning meeting. That will be on Friday. And then we'll be back for Hot Messy Topics on Friday with Bravo Breaking News. So, Kim, there's so much to go over already, so I can't wait for that. And then we're going to be going out of town this weekend. So I'll keep you guys posted on what the lives look like for next week, but I'm pretty sure everything should stay the same. Anyways, guys, I'm not going to sit here and drag this out. So go back to doing the whole commenting thing of it all, and then check in the community tabs for the link when it comes to our OC recap. I love you guys so much. Happy Wednesday. Happy OC night, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.